Perhaps the best thing of today is that there is not such a one single-sided obsession, but like everybody is doing different things. There was this idea, there was an absolute truth of the way the music should be, and that's just, I think that's in the past, and I think that's a great thing of today.
And it's probably very difficult to compare this Darmstadt today to the quote golden days of Darmstadt. Europe destroyed, the supremacy of classicism.
I mean, some people might say, well, this is great on one level, but on the other hand, it becomes just a differentiated sea of differences.
Of a common language, how many times has it failed, really? I really don't believe in it at this point. Like the search of a common language, a common notation, a common space in which we are to compose at this point. With the options and complexity of modern world, or it would be almost impossible to compose in the same way, or even to come up with any rules.
The composers coming to Darmstadt today indeed work in a complex world. This complexity arises for the composer precisely because of the relativity of any language or method which they choose in a vastly expanded context of both communication and musical models. What then do they expect of Darmstadt?
I think the present time is one where people are willing to listen to and act upon very specific critique, which is basically on individual compositions. If you want to do this, you could have done it better like that. That sort of nitty-gritty thing. I don't think people are at this point really interested any longer in attempting to authenticate or defend particular stylistic projects on the basis of sort of linguistic argumentation. I don't believe that's the case.
You know, when I am asked sometimes, what do you think about the new generation, which has not at all this obsession of vocabulary, I said, well, that's a kind of other historical situation. They don't need to reproduce what we did 50 years ago or 40 years ago, because the problems are not the same. They are with less taboos than we were, certainly, but in the same time, that's maybe sometimes more difficult because we were confronted with a very strong, difficult world, and they are not.